Thank you for joining us at xm.com for this Forex Preview video. We'll be having a look at the ECB meeting on Thursday and, of course, at the outlook for the euro. I'm Christina Marujos, and joining me today is Rafi Boyajian, Senior Investment Analyst. Rafi, even though we're not expecting any change to policy at the ECB meeting on Thursday, it appears that markets will focus on President Lagarde's press conference. We've seen the euro rally, we've seen the eurozone economy stalling, and the Fed's looser inflation target may really tip the scale. So what do you think she may say regarding the recent developments?
Well, Christina, so that's going to be the main highlight, what everyone's looking forward to in terms of tomorrow's ECB meeting, because initially this meeting wasn't meant to be a game changer. Back in June and July, it did look like the ECB's increased PEP program, as well as that fiscal stimulus package approved by the European Union, really was enough to get the European economy going, at least up until the end of the year. But now we've had several interesting developments. For one, something which is a major concern for the ECB is the fact that inflation turned negative in August. So that was something the analysts weren't expecting. We saw inflation hitting minus 0.2% year on year. And we also even saw the August PMIs pointing to some slowing in the Eurozone recovery. We don't know yet. This is just a one-off, or perhaps it's the start of that second wave we're seeing across Europe starting to impact growth. And on top of that, now we do have the strong euro, which that would only make matters worse in terms of depressing prices across the euro area, as well as hurting exports. Of course, the Eurozone is hugely dependent on exports for driving growth. So these are major concerns that the ECB will have to think about. And so it's going to be interesting to see whether or not the ECB will downgrade its economic projections, and just how worried Lagarde is going to be about the outlook.
So what are the risks for the euro going into this meeting? Does the possibility of a more dovish ECB pose a problem for the euro rally?
Well, that's looking increasingly likely that the ECB or Lagarde will sound much more dovish at this week's meeting. We already had several policymakers expressing some concern about the strong euro because it's been rising too fast. So Lagarde is bound to be quizzed by reporters about whether or not the ECB is happy about the current euro exchange rate, and of course what the overall tone is going to be in the press conference, or just how worried Lagarde is about the uncertainty ahead. But potentially the biggest risk, though, to the euro is any possible surprises in the ECB's forward guidance. Now, that's something that's not really being anticipated, but it's something that can't be ruled out. The ECB may just be worried enough about the possibility of deflationary risk in the euro area, and they could just make some tweaks to their forward guidance, basically stress the downside risks for the Eurozone economy. And of course, the other thing, of course, the Fed's recent shift as well, where they're being more flexible in terms of hitting their inflation target. That's only added to the upside for the euro. So although we're not expecting Lagarde to perhaps use direct language in terms of talking down the euro, but if they do take a very dovish line, that may be enough to apply some downside pressure on the euro.
Rafi, thank you so much for joining me today, and thank you for watching this Forex Preview on the ECB meeting here at xm.com.